Hey, it's Phil, and today I want to talk about the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Now, what is knowledge? Knowledge is more like an organized way of information about a certain topic. It gives you a framework. You probably know some people who can talk a lot about a topic, that can understand it really well, they can explain it thoroughly, but they didn't really implement that knowledge into their own life. There are a lot of philosophers who talk about the good life or the righteous life, but when you look at their own life, they haven't really implemented that knowledge into their own life. And that has to do with wisdom. Wisdom has to do with practicing, experiencing, integrating, implementing those principles and knowledge into your own life, into your heart, into your mind. Because you can know all the things about a topic, you can explain it really well, but unless you really implement it and integrate it into your own life, it's just that knowledge. It isn't really wisdom. Because teachers and authors, they only preach principles. But you have to implement those principles into your own life. Where the wisdom of the author or the teacher ends, your wisdom actually begins. Where an author or a teacher concludes something, you should travel the road. You should implement that information, that knowledge into your own life and draw that conclusion yourself. I struggle with the same thing. I'm a very curious person. I like to read up about a lot of topics. I like to expand my knowledge, but that's never ending because there's so much knowledge these days. You can't read everything about a topic. It really comes down to a couple of core principles. Because wisdom doesn't have to do with the amount of knowledge or information that you gather. Wisdom has to do with the assimilation of those things, about implementing them, about becoming that person, about being that person. Because if you just read things, it's about, then you kind of have the mindset that I know what I should do, I know what I should be, I have an idea of the person and character I should develop. But if you practice and experience those principles, if you implement that knowledge, you can be that person, you can become that person. And that is way more important than just having that external knowledge. If you just know things, the authority of the things that you know is based on someone else, their words, on someone else, their actions, or someone else, their beliefs. But if you connect that knowledge with your own heart, in your mind, in your life, it becomes your own knowledge. It becomes connected with your mind, with your heart, with your lifestyle. So instead of becoming a learner, you should become an experiencer. And I want to end off by an important lesson I learned from Eben Pagan. And he says, learning equals behavior change. Learning equals behavior change. So you haven't really learned anything unless your behavior changed. So if you see something that really connects, if you know and read something that you think should improve your life, instead of just reading more about it, you should start practicing, experiencing, and connecting it with your own life.